Number 3. Bleeding tooth fungus. This gross-looking fungus is the Hydanellum peckii, more affectionately known as the bleeding tooth fungus. It grows in the forests of Europe and North America and is identifiable from its pale pink to black coloration, tooth-like spines underneath its cap, and the thick red fluid that oozes out of it and makes it look like it's bleeding. While this fungus isn't actually poisonous, it does contain atromentin, which has antibacterial and anticoagulant properties. This makes them useful in making remedies for some ailments, but can make you ill if consumed in high doses. This probably isn't the mushroom that's at the top of your list for eating based on looks alone, but it also has a very bitter, peppery flavor, so isn't a very useful addition in cooking. Number 2. Nepenthes. There are quite a few different species of Nepenthes, otherwise known as the tropical pitcher plant. The thing that's unusual about these plants is that they're the largest species of plant that are able to eat meat, and they have an ingenious way to capture their prey. The Nepenthes raja comes from Malaysia, and they're both the largest Nepenthes species and the biggest carnivorous plant in the world. The bowl of the plant contains water and a digestive fluid, and while their main source of food are the insects that fall in, they're more than capable of digesting small animals like rats, birds, and frogs. They also attract shrews, but instead of eating them, they digest their poop, with animals using these plants as a luxurious jungle toilet. Another species is the Nepenthes attenboroughii, named after the wildlife presenter. It's native to the higher regions of the jungles in the Philippines and is also big enough to trap and digest small rodents. They're relatively rare, but because they tend to grow in inaccessible places, they're safer from poachers than other tropical plants. Luckily for us, no pitcher plants currently exist that are big enough to eat a person, so they don't pose any threat to us. There are though models around the world that show how large a pitcher plant would have to be to consume us. The large models also show you what it might be like to be a tiny insect in a world of towering meat eaters waiting for their next meal. Number 1. Tobacco. This plant causes the most human deaths every year. Tobacco. There are more than 70 different species of the plant, which originated in South America and is now grown around the world in hot climates. The plant itself is unremarkable in its natural form, but it was discovered about 6,000 years ago that if you dry the leaves, they have an effect when they're smoked. This is due to the production of nicotine, which is a stimulant. Tobacco is consumed in various ways, such as smoking, chewing, and sniffing, but each method comes with its own risks that affect the heart, liver, and lungs, and is associated with many different types of cancer. In the 20th century, the World Health Organization estimates that more than 100 million deaths can be attributed to smoking tobacco, which is why there have been such large-scale attempts to reduce the number of people who do this as a recreational activity, especially as 46,000 people a year are thought to die in the United States as a result of secondhand smoke inhalation.
Number 3. The box jellyfish. If you come across one of these creatures while scuba diving or floating in the sea, get away as fast as possible. The box jellyfish is one of the most venomous animals on the entire planet, a category that includes frogs, scorpions, and snakes. It can possess as many as 60 tentacles, and their sting can kill a human, either by paralyzing them, which leads to drowning, or by stopping their heart. Luckily, many people survive encounters with the box jellyfish, but not without first experiencing excruciating pain. Number 2. The black mamba snake. Despite being the second most venomous snake in the world, the black mamba makes our list because it's the most feared snake in all of Africa, which is saying something. Their bite has been called the kiss of death and can kill a human in less than 10 hours if not treated effectively. While the black mamba usually tries to flee from humans, they will attack if they feel threatened, delivering deadly strikes in rapid succession. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Number 1. The mosquito. With a list that includes crocodiles, lions, and sharks, it may be difficult to believe that mosquitoes are the most dangerous animals on the planet. While they won't eat you, this small insect is responsible for killing over 1 million people each year because it spreads diseases, the most famous of which is malaria. In fact, they are said to transfer diseases to over 700 million people annually. They're located all over the world, from tropical areas to cold climates, and are responsible for more human deaths than all the other animals on this list put together.